Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to the Wednesday night modeling stream. Oh yeah. Oh, it's feeling good. Feels good to be on the stream. It's been a long day. I've been typing all day. All documents all day. No graphics work for Bryan today. But it is Wednesday. It is nighttime, which is my favorite time because I get to work on the Wednesday night modeling stream. So, for those of you uninitiated, I'm Bryan Bentley, your streamer for cgspectrum.com, the department head of modeling here at cgspectrum.com. For all your modeling needs, go to cgspectrum.com/3D-modeling. Yes, on today. So we've been building this character bit by bit by bit by bit. The last couple weeks I was working on her feathers, these low poly feathers, because eventually they're going to go. Actually, I've already taken these into Unreal Engine, did a quick little turnaround render with them. For those of you who don't know, my background is in visual effects and animation, so I am really trying to jump into this kind of like real-time rendering. I want to use Unreal Engine for basically I want to just use it for my renderer, right? That's basically what I want to use it for. Anytime, basically I'm making a pact with myself because I've been putting it off and putting it off. Anytime I can try to use Unreal Engine for my main rendering solution, I'm going to try to do that. Now, that means I probably have to jump through a few more hoops than usual to get in there, but I guess that's the price of the magic of real-time ray tracing. And then if I absolutely have to use a path tracer, maybe I'll use the path tracer in Unreal Engine. I don't know, it hasn't really been proven yet. Or I'll jump back to like Arnold or Maya or whatever. Once again, I am battling the non-ending battle with my internet service provider. They are garbage. If to put it lightly, they are pretty terrible. They're pretty awful. Yeah, like just bad service all around. So I know I keep saying this, but I hold to the feet. Now, I don't know how fast this is gonna go. I mean, the wings went quite slow. So like as I've been saying, I don't really work on this stuff, when I'm not streaming. Like, so you're pretty much seeing me do this real time, and you're seeing me figure out these problems real time. I've never made a bird person before. Sometimes things might take a little bit longer. I'm also talking and explaining and answering questions. So this is a much slower process than I would usually take. But I stand by that it's good to see the entire process, to not see it curated, to not see it edited, to see the problems, and when I'm like, oh, I don't know why this is doing this, or I don't know why that is doing that, or I don't know how to do that. I think that's really important because it gives you. I feel like it gives. At least I wish I had that when I was coming up. I just felt like when I was coming up, like everybody just kind of magically knew what they were doing, and I was like, why don't I magically know what I'm doing? And it's because I was watching like all these curated tutorials and things, and I was like, how do these guys just like know what to do? They know what to do because they failed a bunch of times, and they kind of edited all that stuff out, and then they're giving it to you. So let's stop yakking and get to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to shrink. Let's shrink. Can I shrink this down? Yeah. So I'm going to shrink this down, something like this, and then I'll just view that. So this is always just going to float right above. Let's see, where do I want to put that? There's not much important stuff over here. So I'm putting it right underneath there. Actually, no, let's put this down here because there's not really any tools there that I need. I just want to have that there in the corner of my eye so I can always just kind of look and see this reference. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I always divide and conquer. So I'm just going to turn off my wings so I don't want to be distracted by those. So I always kind of divide and conquer with everything I do. So let's just, I'm going to put a net box around this. We're going to call this rendering. Okay, and then this is reference. I'll put this over here. Don't need that. And this is almost kind of reference as well. So it's my reference plane. So these are my feathers. So we'll put those in a net box as well. Need to stay organized. Wing. Okay, so I'm going to color these. I'm going to make it like this brown because they're that brown and gold. And this, I'm going to color that, let's say, yellow because lighting. Cool. All right, so I'm going to pop into this Valk Full that I made out here. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm also going to turn off, so I'm just going to turn my headlight and I'm going to turn off materials just so I get back to like my, kind of like my Houdini based material, and also going to put my background to dark. Like that. Okay, so if I look at this original guy, actually let's do after that. And then, yeah, so I also blasted away the wings, so I'm left with this guy. And so I have, if I look at the attribute spreadsheet, so I'm going to say split pane, top, bottom. Actually, let's move this over here. I don't really see that all the time. Spreadsheet. So this this guy has a lot of attributes on it. So it's got, let's see. It's got this FBX scale on here. It's got this normal data on here. It's got, let's see, looks like it's got this name data. Let's see, name. So I think I do want to keep that name. It's got a current UV set, and then it's got a shot material name. So just for the sake of viewing this last time, I blew away all this stuff. So if I come in here and I go to here, and I view this, all that stuff's gone. So I want to keep, I believe I also had, I should also have normals on here. Yeah, so I have an alpha channel on here. I have color data on here. I have tangent U, tangent V. So I have this UV data. So what I want to keep is, I'm going to actually, let's pin that down. I definitely want to keep my UV data. So I'm going to do caret UV. What else do I want to keep? I want to keep my name. What else do I want to keep? I don't need to keep color. I don't need to keep this FBX. My normals I can rebuild later. That's fine. And they're on points anyway. I probably want my normals on my vertices. I don't really need a shot material. And yeah, so let's unpin that and look. So yeah, there we go. So there's my name. And so there's my name here. There's my UV data, which is good. And then my point data is all nice and clean. And then there's my output. Sweet. Okay, cool. So I want to grab just this hand. And I believe if I look, I believe I have this hand in its own UV tile. So I think this is the hand. I did this thing. I built this thing like almost 2 years ago. So I know this is the mouth. That's the eye there. I think that's the leg. That's the body. This is the front of the face. This is the top of the face. Actually, no. These three are the face. I'm using crazy UDIMs, which will be interesting when I get into substance later. And I believe these are the hands. Okay, so let's go back. And I just want to do a blast. Actually, I'm going to do this in its own thing. I don't want to corrupt my. So I'm going to do a geometry. I'm going to call this talons. And I want to object merge. Cool. All right, so now I'm going to do that blast. So now I can just work on just this stuff. So I'm going to do blast. I'm basically going to start this out the same way as I did with my wings. And so I want to say UV connected geometry. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I can grab this guy. So I can just grab all of that and all of that. So that very morbidly cuts off her hands. And I'll say delete non-selected. There we go. Okay, cool. So I have both of her hands. Oh, why is that grabbing that? Let's see. There we go. Okay. So we have both the hands. And so now we can, so basically this is going to be my low poly. And, yeah, so I'll do a little null here. Actually, do I want to do these one at a time? Well, they're identical, right? So I'm basically building, I'm going to be building, so basically right now I'm going to be building my high res. So I really only need one hand to do my high res. So basically, I'm building my high res that I'm going to transfer over my low res, a lot like I did with my feathers, and only this time I'm going to be using geometry and not curves. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm like, this is going to become my high res. This will get pushed back down to the origin. I'll do, you know, all my stuff to here. That high res will be put back into place and then mirrored over to match that guy. That's my plan. I think it's a good plan. I'm sticking to that plan. Cool. All right, so if that's the case, I don't need this left-hand side. So let's do, turn everything off. UV connected geometry. Grab these guys. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to do the same process as I did with my wings. I want to bring this down to the origin. So I don't know if I wanted to be pointing down the x-axis or straight up the y. I'm not really sure what I want to do with this. So let's just do something. Let's do a bound. I'm going to do a bound, just like I did before. And I want to do box. I want to do oriented bounding box, and I want a transform attribute. So I want that X-form. And I want to do, I think I'm going to do keep original as well. On my so I should have. Yeah, so I have my hand inside of that little bounding box, and so now I should be able to do a transform by attribute. And that's X form, so plug that in. And then I'll say invert transformation. Yeah, there we go. Haha, sweet. Seem to have lost my claws though. Yeah, Money Val 9. I'm having some internet issues right now. Like my internet speed is just tanking, which is ridiculous because I have a 4G router and I pay a lot of money in Hong Kong for this. So if you just bear with me, it usually picks up, you know, maybe like 5 or 10 minutes into the stream. So I apologize for that. I'm working on it for sure. So I lost my claws here. So if I do 3D connect, let's just do 3D connected geometry and grab this guy. All right, there we go. Okay, so now I got my bound, and my bound is going down into that. So I should be able to see wireframe. Cool. Great. Awesome. that's kind of putting that right along the x-axis, I believe. So yeah, I think that'll work. I kind of want it to be more Terminator-y, like I want it to be straight up and down. Yeah, so I think what I'll do is I will group this original so I can blast away that box once I'm done. Group. And so I can do a blast. Cool. And so I want everything except, so delete non-selected. So bam. So now I just have my hand left over. Okay, so transform attributes. There we go. So the other thing I said I wanted to do is I wanted to align this to the world. So it's kind of tilted a little bit. Wonder if there is a... No, I'll just do it with a transform. Now, the thing about this transform I learned last time is the secret here. So if we look at my detail attribute, I don't want to, let's see, invert transform. I don't want to delete that guy. So this detail attribute is like almost an identity matrix. So this is like 1, 0. This is basically 0, 0, 0. So this is basically an identity matrix that this comes down to. So it's 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, and 0, 0, 0, 1. So if we look 1, 2, 4 rows, there's a 1 there, and then we have 0, 0, 0, 0. So that's 4 zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a 1 here, so that's 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's another 1, and then 4 zeros, and then another 1. So this is what we call an identity. Nothing is moved. So that's good. That's good. I want this to be an identity matrix right now. So down here, if I start to move this thing, watch what's going to happen to that matrix. Right? It's changing that matrix. I don't want that. Right? I want that matrix to stay where it is. Also, so I'm trying to do that thing where the thing where I bring everything down, adjust it, and then put everything back. So here, this attribute here, I don't want to affect. So let's put some crazy numbers in here. I don't want this to affect that transform. So I'm going to say not xform. So now that stays 0 no matter what I do to this. But the problem is I want to recall this, right? I want to recall this value to put this back. So I need to save. I actually need to save this xform out into like a rest or something like that. So we can do that as well. So let's do that. We'll just do here. Let's do a tab attribute expression. And I'll make a, can I do it? Is this gonna let me do this? Custom. Yeah, there we go. Matrix 4. Matrix 4. And I'll call this rest xform. And then this will be, I think it's 4 at xform. Xform. Oh, this should be on a detail. if I look here, this is my X form here, and that's my rested X form. So cool. So I basically just copied my X form into a rest X form. So I don't want to mess with my X form, and I also generally don't want to mess with my rest X form as well. So now, if I come down here and I move this guy around, neither of those change. So let's just put this in a crazy thing. I'm blasting away here. Oh yeah, I'm blasting away. So basically, what I want to do is put this back, right? So I want to put this back. So the first thing I need to do is undo this rotation. So I'm going to copy this. So I'm going to right click and say actions. We're going to say, where is it? Create reference copy. So whatever I do to this guy will be done to that guy. And the thing I want to turn off is this guy. So I want to say delete channel, and I want to turn. So if I do this again, it's going to rotate it again until I say invert transform, and then that'll put it back. Okay. So then I need another transform by attribute. This guy should, if I do rest X form invert, should put it back to where it was before. Yeah, so that'll take it from there back up to there. So I like to bookend these things. So this is my and I do this so much, I should really make just a digital asset out of this. But whoa, that's a story for another day. Okay, so bookend these. So whatever goes on here, you can do whatever I want. So let's re-zero this out, and just so I can make sure that everything stays the same, I'm going to template this guy, and I'm going to template this guy. So whatever I do there, that guy is always going to stay the same. Sweet. Okay, so let's go ahead and this is so morbid. All right, so I'm going to rotate this guy up. I'm also going to turn my smooth wire back on. Facing forward in Z. We're gonna do like a weird like bird Terminator hand here. All right, cool. So that is always gonna stay. So let's turn that off. All right, so there's the box. Box gets rid of. This goes back down, and that goes back up there. Okay, cool, perfect. So we'll just take this, kind of hide it off to the side, and we'll come back and use that later. All right. Okay, so this is gonna be this is gonna end up being my high res piece that I'm gonna put back. Okay. So I think the first thing I need to do is, do I need to cap this? Maybe not. I think I'm just going to subdivide this first. I'm trying to think of what I want to work on first. So I think I think the most difficult part looking at this is probably going to be this plating overall. And because this is going to be on high res, I think I am going to subdivide this maybe like twice or something like that. But what I want, I think these plates go on the top of stuff. So what I think I'm going to use, I think I'm going to end up using these lines here for that plating for the fingers, and then on the center line, or maybe I can just draw one and then project it. I put an initial twist into the arm in the model. So it could look cool. Let's just go in and do some stuff. All right, I'm gonna make a group. I'm gonna make an edge group. And because I know this thing pretty much is gonna have a consistent, like this is like a direct model from another software, so I'm not really gonna do much upstream to this. So I can probably just directly select my edges. So I don't want primitives, I want edges. I'm gonna say plating. The worst speller on the planet. Does plating have two N's, two T's, or one? Just call P. No, PLT. Plating. There we go. And then my base group, I'm just gonna select the parts that I want. And yeah, so that should be. So let's do. Now I am just double clicking these, and I think I just want. I wonder if I can do. If I do Shift and. Yeah. So if I do Shift A, it'll give me the path between them. That's what I want. Perfect. Shift A. Shift A. And I'm making these probably a little bit longer than I need to, but I can always carve them back. It's just giving me an initial starting place for these plates to go. Where does this one go? So this is the cool thing about the Shift A. It'll try to path find for me. All right, cool. All right, so there's my, if I go, yeah, so there's my group hand, and then I believe my edges are marked here. Cool, awesome. So I'm gonna subdivide this. So hopefully it'll keep those edge groups. Let's do 2. Because like I said, this is gonna be my high res, so I'm gonna probably, I may even like end up, you know, remeshing this or something. But the main thing is I want those edges. Okay, so I want let's do edge labs edge group to curve. Perfect. This thing is a lifesaver. One day I will pop this thing open and figure out. Did this destroy my edge groups? Did. So can't use that subdivide there. That's fine. I can always reproject it onto. Actually, I'm going to keep that around. I'll reproject this guy onto that guy. So I should be getting. There we go. Plating. Great. Awesome. So if I look at points, I get these points. So right, so let's just go ahead and like I just want to do something. I just want to try to get, you know, something on here that looks remotely like this, and then I kind of like work my way backwards. What's up, Gaming S Man? How are you doing? So if that's the case, you're doing this part because it's like you're like, oh, you're just kind of like fumbling around, like trying to find like the thing that you need to do first. Like that's always the hardest part for me. It's like what do I need to do first? Let's go ahead and resample this. Now there aren't that many of these plates. So if I look at this, if I were to draw this, like there would be, so on this guy here, we have these plates, right? So I'd have a point here, 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 and so on and so forth. If we looked at them sideways, like my curve would be like this. If I had a point here, that one would go like that, 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 that one would go like that. Yeah. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the main, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, about 10 on the finger. So I may need to do the fingers and the main differently, but we'll just say 10 all around, or maybe 5. Yeah. What else can I? Let's do a distance. Let's do a distance attribute. We'll do a tangent U and a curve U, and I guess curve num. So that'll allow me to separate these guys, right? So I have curve num 0 through 5. So I can separate these out if I really wanted to. If I wanted to do one special one, or if I wanted to do if I wanted to resample just my main one, and I want to resample those differently, I can split them out with a split node and then put them all back together. And then it looks like I also have a point distance and a tangent. Actually, what I want to do is I want to test something. I really want to see what this point distance does, because I kind of played around with it before, but I didn't really use it. But I think it could be good. I think the point distance is, I think it might be like this distance. I'm not really sure. Let me look at the documentation. Let's see. All the way down. Curve number attribute, tangent attribute, distance. Creates a point attribute storing the length of the output curve that is closest to each point along the curve. Ooh. This is half the sum of the lengths of all the edges connected to each output. When creating only points, this value can be used to determine how much of the original curve each point represents. Oh, that is painful. Creates a point attribute storing the length of the output curve that is closest to each point along the curve. Ugh, no, that's not giving me anything that I want. I was hoping it would be the distance between here and here, right? If I wanted to do that, I would have to use my length. Okay, so let's use length instead. So that's too short on those. One, two, three, 4, 5. So probably don't want to put 1 on that last one. So maybe a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, cool. And then I'll have, I can probably, well, actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and do that thing that I just said, right? I want to resample these guys in a different way than these guys, because this is just it's fundamentally different. Okay, so this is my first resample, and that gives me my curve view. So what I can do here is I'm going to do a split and merge. Split. No, I don't even do that. Let's not even do that. I'm getting too specific too fast. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I need to give, so this has a tangent U on it, which basically, if I click on, where is it? Bang, like that. So that should give me a tangent, I get like this claw thing, along the length of my curve. Now, oh man, I am going to have to split that up because I'm looking at this. This guy is going backwards from these two. I want this to be all the same direction. So I am going to have to split that out and treat these differently to get them to work together. So that's always good to know. So let's go down and look at some. I don't want to turn everything off. I just want to turn that tangent U off. And let's go ahead and do that split. I'm gonna have to do that split eventually anyway. Okay, I'm gonna turn on my primitives and see what number. Okay, this guy is number, oh my eyes, 2. It's number 2. So I'm gonna say split. I'm gonna say 2. So if I view the split, it should just give me that guy, and then the rest is coming off of here. So here now, let's do a. I want to turn that tangent back on. I want these going the opposite direction, so I'm going to do a reverse, I believe. That's not gonna work either. Not reverse. Maybe a sort. Well, no, because that's not going to. Oh, I just need to do another resample here. Okay, so like I said, this is always like the discovery phase. Okay, so let's do this. So this guy, that guy gets split out. These get one resample. So I'm going to do here. Let's see, I said 10 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, about 10 on the fingers. And then these plates are much, much bigger. So they're going to be about, they're going to be 5. So I'm going to say over here. And that'll be 5. X-axis. And let's just go ahead and make this thing much smaller overall. Just so I can see what it's doing. So like I said, like this is my exploratory phase, right? I'm like trying to figure out what's going on. Okay, so I think once again, this orient along curve is going to fail me. So let's go back to here and let's draw this out. So I know I can get I know I have a let's do an arrow. I have vectors that can run Oh, hello, Lion E19HK. I don't know what your handle is. Who is this? Have I had you in class? Do I know you in real life? Like, you have HK in your name, so it makes me think that I've met you in Hong Kong somewhere. So yeah, just shout it out. Let me know who you are. Okay, so I have. Let's see. I keep on going back to that same view. Let's get some real estate here. So this is an interesting thing. So what I'm going to do, so I have these, I know I have these vectors for all my parts. That's my tangent. Okay. So what I think I'm going to do is like I usually do, this is what I usually end up doing. I always try that orient along curve, and sometimes it works, but sometimes, sometimes it doesn't. It's always good to have alternatives. So this arm does this really interesting thing where it twists around, right? So what I want is I want to grab the normal. And then this normal kind of points directly at us. I want to grab the normal from the geometry. And so that will give me my 2 orientation vectors. So these normals are kind of like pointing straight at us. This one is pointing straight at us. That one's pointing straight at us. And then between those two, I can generate my orient. So this orient along normal just isn't doing. It's not. I don't think either. I'm probably using it wrong, to be completely honest. Tangent up vector. Tangent type is edge distance, and then up vector, it says x-axis. So it's always just looking, basically just looking this direction. Okay. So I need it to grab. Oh wait, there's a curve normal in here. Hang on. Okay, let's clear this out. Let's see if the curve normal helps. Not much. Custom? No. Okay, so I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna build. Okay. I'm gonna merge these two things. I'm gonna merge these two ideas. So this says I can grab an attribute. So I'm gonna make this target up attribute. So, and I'm gonna pull it from this this piece of geometry. So here. Okay, so this doesn't have any normals on it, so I'm gonna do a facet and give this point normals. Okay, and then I'm going to transfer these normals to my curve. So if I take my resulting curve now, and that already has a tangent from these resamples. So I'm going to do a attribute transfer. Attribute transfer. I'm going to transfer from right to left, because you're reading right to left. And let's show my normals. Yeah, so this has no normals. That guy's transferring normals. I don't want to transfer any primitive data. I do want to transfer my normals. And I think that's okay. So yeah, there we go. So I'm getting, like, see, I'm getting that twist now. Okay. So I think that's fine. And then what I'm just gonna rename that normal to whatever this thing is looking for. Target up. So attribute rename from in to target up. Okay, so now this will feed into my orient along curve. Saying tangent axis. Let's see that. Yeah, cool. So this is now running along along this data. So my plane is not in the right spot, but we can see that my main thing is I want this twist around the base of the arm. Okay, so just trying to get a handle on this guy's doing. Okay, that's moving along curve. Slicing in. Scales and shears. That's not doing normalized scales. Stretch arm corners. No, that's not giving me anything. Let's just put a transform behind this. This is always the hardest part for me. Like, just kind of like getting your feet under you, finding the system, figuring out what needs to be done. All right, let's see. I'll make this smaller. I want this to sit flush. So I want to, where would I rotate this from? Actually, yeah, I think that's it. There we go. That's what I want. Overall. So now these plates, these plates are sitting more or less on the surface. Now, I'm gonna have to deal with the scale overall, but they're looking pretty good. They're feeling pretty good. Sitting like this guy now, they don't have any bend to them or anything, and I think they overall need to just be smaller. And I think they overall need to just be smaller. But I have the kind of the guts of it. And I think I will need to separate again this main one from these fingers, because the fingers are so much smaller, and just the way the main one works is like so much bigger. So I may have to do that. But the main part, not the main part, but like one of the first hurdles is getting this oriented along the arm, which works well now. So what else what I want to do next? I think what I want to do is I just want to work with this part, and try to apply a lot like I did with the feathers. I'll apply that to the fingers just with some modifications. So let's see. Let's keep this clean. Don't need that. It's not giving me what I want. This is giving me what I want. Let's just bypass this guy for a little bit. Just bypass our fingers, and we'll just work on just this. So I'll just reduce clutter. Bring us over here. And what I'll do is to reduce clutter even more, I will do a oh, great, cool, man. It's always good to hear. I always feel kind of alone here in Hong Kong. There's not a lot of people who do what we do here. So good on you. Oh, good. My capacity's back up. So let's see. Let's clear this. Let's clean this up. I'm gonna do a null here, and let's plug that into there, and this will be out. Actually, no. I'm being way too pedantic. I don't know why I'm being so careful today. I usually just come in and start slamming stuff in. Okay. So this is that. That's that. And this is this. So I don't think I want that last piece. So what I'm going to do is, before I resample this, I'm going to carve this down. So this guy goes all the way up to here. I probably want to carve it down to about there. That one needs to stay there, and then maybe this one comes down to here, and then I'll resample. That grabs that, and that grabs that. So cool. So now I can control with this carve. I can control exactly where those plates sit on the surface. Okay, cool. So the next thing I want is I think because right now on here I just have this in and up. I want to be able to, let's actually look at my grid. I want to unify this as well. Okay, so okay, so my point is sitting right in the center of this. I want this grid to sit on the ground, first of all. Like that. And basically, I just want to recenter this. Okay, so I'm going to copy that. I'm going to copy, let's see, copy parameter. I'm going to paste that in here. Paste relative reference. And then I'm going to multiply that by 0.5. So it always sits on the ground. So no matter how big I make this, that guy is always just going to sit on the ground like that. So that works. And then I have like a little bit of rotate. Do I have that rotation in here? Okay. Don't have any rotation. This is straight up and down. Does that feel oddly rotated to me? Rotate 0, 0, 0. Cool. Yeah, no, straight up and down. That's exactly what I want. Okay, so now this is sitting. All this stuff is sitting on the surface like so. Go back and grab. All right, so these things, this guy is way too big overall in general. So maybe I want to carve this guy up from the bottom just a bit as well. Maybe I don't want to go all the way to that elbow. Maybe just like right here. And then the other thing I think I may do is I may blur that normal a little bit because it's a little harsh. We'll just see. Let's see if that helps. Attribute blur. I want to blur in. Yeah, that helps with the top a little bit. There's not much to blur between here, so I don't think that's not doing much for me. Okay. So looking at this, I think I'm envisioning things to be way too long. This is very short, right? Because your arm has to do this and it has to twist, especially when it gets down to here, right? Like now this is where I'm gonna have to make some artistic license, right? Like a bird, like this bird now looking at this. So the expected result is I'm not really sure. I'm trying to get this feel over here. But I'm experimenting now. I just started this new part, and this is what CG is, right? Like there's very few times where it's like I do this and then I do that and I do this. And if you're doing that, like you've done something that somebody's already done before. They were kind of already laid that groundwork for you. So this type of work is what really, really interests me, is because I've never seen anybody try to make a bird human hybrid hand. So I'm just trying to figuring it out, and I'm like kind of talking my way through it. So I'm basically just like stream of consciousnessing right now. So this bird, it doesn't really have a palm per se. So there's no big part here. So this, or a wrist for that matter. So this is kind of nebulous, and that's kind of nebulous. So I can kind of pick and choose what I want to do there. So yeah, so let's pull this back a little bit. Maybe I just want it to go yeah, I want it to be like to the back of the hand, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, and then the other thing I think I'm going to want to do is even want to like lift, maybe not that much, but yeah, that's giving me some nice kind of clearance. I might be able to do that. All right. So I'm going to do something that I generally don't do, and it usually doesn't work out, but screw it. I've never done this before. So I keep on saying that. So I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to do a ray. So I'm going to just try to shrink wrap these guys down to this surface. Now, before I do that, I want to minimize the amount of points that I want to ray, because a ray operation is quite expensive. So let's do 3 and 3. Okay, so let's do a ray and see what it does. Ray. And so by default it's project rays, ray tolerance, let's bring that up. Scale, nope. Lift, bias, sample, jitter, seed. No. Nope. 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 I think I want to do, instead of project rays, a minimum distance. Yeah. Minimum distance should work. Show guides. That's not awful. I've seen way worse. So let's see. I believe. Now, the thing with a ray is that I'm losing that, and actually, this is kind of bothering me. I want to reverse this real quick. So that's not too bad. I'm not too upset with that. I'm still not super happy. Feels a little beat up and a little uncontrolled. And also, this thing is just like a straight square right now. So whereas these, they seem like I feel like they're like tapered a little bit like that. Like this distance is less than that distance. So it could be something else I'm reacting to. And this is what you do. Like you try something and then you just stop and you look at it for a little bit and you're like, okay, what's going on here? What's working, what isn't? I do like how I don't like how it's doing this sawtooth thing, but I do like how I'm getting back on, like I'm getting like kind of like this plated look. So let me try to get a little bit closer to the source material here. So I'm going to do a ooh, I didn't even think about using a path deform. That could be interesting. Instead of copying to the points, use path deform. Let's do a twist. I've started this. I'm sticking to it. Okay. So twist is possibly one of the most oddly confusing nodes in Houdini. For some reason, I don't know why it's so confusing. So I need to first set my capture region, which is this guy. Okay. And then I don't want to twist, I want to taper. I need to flip this thing upside down. Let's grab some real estate here. There we go. Okay, so there's my taper. So yeah, now we're getting a little bit closer to the source material. Not too bad, and it's dynamic, so I can always add more divisions. That's why I use a deformer instead of what's the word I'm looking for? Instead of just direct modeling. Yeah, a little off today. I don't know what's going on with me. I was having a pretty good day. Okay, so there's that. I could do as well. Can I do a bend? No, I'm gonna have to do that as a second operation. So I have my taper. This is taper. And this is gonna be bend. Let's do control and rotate that because that's the way I want to bend it. And let's bring my capture region in like that. There's my bend, and I think there's a deform in both directions. There we go. And so, like I said, like it's all procedural, so I can myself a little bit more room there, and let's see what that looks like. Oh, not bad. I'm not super mad at that. I'm not super mad at that at all. It's looking not terrible. Not terrible at all. I mean, even before the okay, so still a little big, still a little lifted too much. And I want to be able to, like, eventually I want to be able to control this lift per point. Yeah, so so looking at this, right, this is, if I look at this distance from here to here, I'm counting 5. That's probably only like this much space. So I think overall to make this turn, I'm gonna need more points. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. So let's do 10, like I did before. Yeah, that's already looking better. So because now there are more points, I should be able to bring the uniform scale of this, or actually maybe not the uniform scale. Yeah, and then I can play around with my carve a little bit. I'm gonna get this back up to the wrist. And I probably don't need to so yeah, I'm gonna need to be able to control this lift along the curve. Liney 19HK says, I have no friend in Hong Kong doing 3D and I'm not doing anything art related on my day job, but I am trying to learn Houdini and hopefully do a 3D as a freelancer. That's awesome, man. Yeah. Look me up on Instagram. Shoot me a line on Instagram, and maybe we can meet up. And yeah, I can help you out. Like I do private I can do private tutoring. You can sign up for CG Spectrum, right? You can do that from anywhere. But yeah, like let's meet up, have a coffee somewhere. I don't know where you live. But yeah, hit me up on Instagram, and yeah, we can chat. That'll be fun. It'll be cool. Okay, cool. I am actually liking where this is going. So the next thing is, I think I'm gonna do the easy part. So these are super uniform, right? So I think what I'll do is, let's do just like a quick P scale chuck on here. Let's do attribute noise. Bring down that element size. Get those cool disco lights. And then I can change this from CD to give me a flip, and that'll be P scale. And then I can do minimum. Let's bring that minimum. Let's say positive. Let's do 0 centered and set. So it's kind of randomizing them, but not as much as I would like. Not in the way I would like either. All right, so that's attribute noise. Let's try attribute. Just do an attribute. Oh, what? Yeah, that's right. Okay, so that's attribute noise. Let's do attribute random. Randomize. Try to do the same skin. Let's do P scale. Yeah, that's a little bit better. That is a little bit better. So let's do 1.4 on my upper end and Yeah, so just giving them a little bit of variation in there. The other thing I might want to do is also make the ones here bigger and maybe make the ones here smaller. But these seem pretty straightforward. Like they seem very like there's not a lot of like taper along the way. And this is where like if I was just trying to do this from memory, this would be very hard for me to do because I don't know what a bird wing, I don't know what a bird foot looks like. But because I have this sitting here and I can always look at it, it makes things way easier. I think. I think I like this bigger size at 1. Let's carve this back. Yeah, I'm just being lazy because I need to address this rotation, and I'm just being lazy right now. So let's address this rotation. Okay, so that's no rotation. So basically, I need to. What I'm going to do is I have this rotation matrix along here, and I need to rotate it along. I need an extra rotation. So if I have a rotation matrix that's like this, that's pointing along, I need to take and rotate around that guy, and I can do that per point with attributes. It just takes a little bit of doing. Okay, so I might do a rotation that way and an extra rotation. No, I'm jumping the gun. I'm still jumping it. Okay, and then even if I look at this, it's not too bad. Actually, that's not too bad. I wonder if I can actually kind of like this look. I just need to be able to lift the ends off. So I think there's got to be something on the ray. Ray hit, point number, import attributes from hits. That's just scaling it. Maybe I'm trying to do it too much in one. Okay, let's try this. All right, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna come into right before my scale. I'm gonna go into here. So basically just straight up and down. I am going to add an attribute to this that goes from 0 at the bottom to 1 at the top. So what that'll allow me to do is this will make a mask for this, for each one of these. So that will allow me to, I can use that as a blend shape on this. So I can lift, I should be able to lift up this top part. So I can get like, maybe get like that little scoop. That's like that. So this part here is stuck, and then this part lifts up. And I actually, looking at this now, this is why this is really great, is I'm not getting, oh, I am getting overlap. That's what I want. I want that overlap. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and do this. Okay. And usually I'm a little bit more structured than this, but like I said, we just started this, so there's always a little bit of like, faffing. I call it faffing about before you can get exactly what you want. And this is still super rough geometry. Once I get this part done, like the rest should be pretty simple. Oh, okay. I think I know what I'm gonna do now that I think about this. Okay, so I'm gonna take that. Let's see. Import attributes from hits. So that's gonna give me my normal. So if I look at this, I should get normal data from my arm. Yes. Okay, I am getting normal data from my arm. So what I can do is I can lift this off the surface from the arm. All right. Surface, and then so what I can do is, let's just do this. I'm going to do a test. I'm going to do attribute expression, and I'm going to do P equals self plus at in. Yeah, that actually, that it looks like garbage right now, but it's actually not. Times 0.01. Actually, I'm going to say times value dot x. Okay, so basically I'm multiplying. Yeah. That'll work. That'll work. So basically, I can push this. I can push this off the surface. So if we look here, there's a little gap there now. So that's great. That's wonderful. Because what I can do now is so let's go ahead and make that value that goes from 0 to 1 along with that mask that goes here. It's all about masking, baby. Okay, so let's do what's the best way to do this? I'm gonna do I'll do it in an attribute vault. It's getting a little cluttered. That's okay. And man, I've already been working for an hour and a half. Whew. When you love what you do, things go by real quick. Okay, so I'm gonna pop this as attribute vault. And let's do, I'm gonna do a box. Relative bounding box. Take P, goes into P. And this should be spitting out a, let's do CD. All right. Let's do a vector to float, because I want to split this apart. Let's just take my Y. Yeah, so black at the bottom, white at the top. Perfect. That's exactly what I want. So I'm not going to go up to color. I'm actually going to go out to I'm going to go out to a custom attribute, but I want to be able to control this later. So I'm going to run that into a ramp attribute, or ramp parameter. I'm going to call this lift mask. Mask. Lift. Mask. And that should be a spline ramp. And this is going to go out to find export. That is going to go out to lift. Lift. Mask. Cool. So don't need to put that anymore. Why is this angry? Ah, okay. I couldn't name them both lift mask. Okay, so I'm just gonna call that LM. So now I should have a point attribute. With lift mask. lift mask. Name is lift mask. That works. That works. That works. Okay, that's all coming out. That looks great. All right, cool. So that I will feed into all this. I should get, yeah. So I still have my lift mask in there, and I should have. This should be a spline. Cool. Cool. Zeros. 0 to 1. I'm only going to 0.75. No, that's working. Okay, cool. I'll get rid of the colors later so I can see them. And okay, so here, so this is being squished down now. But what I can do is I can say times value x. So let's put this at 1. 0.05. 0.01. Yeah. So that's all being squished down. And I'm going to say times at LM. Yes. Look at that. Bam. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, lamma, ding dong. So now I can start to lift just that top part up. I can get that plating look. Now over here, so now I can start to sculpt. So if you look at this, what's really cool about this is if you look at this shape, if you look at this shape here, like that, it's mimicking that shape there. So I can now, with math, I can now start to sculpt this part. And it's all procedural, so if I want a little bit, let's do one more, a few more along here, a few more along there. So these are getting a little stretched and out of control. Just the ray in general is very, very hard to control. Or at least I find it very hard to control. I'm sure there are masters out there who can bend it to their will. Okay, so this is still a little bit overboard because I was doing it without my little arm matchy thing. So let's maybe pull this, pull curve down. Maybe now I don't have to rotate this so far. And actually, maybe that rotation is going to help me a little bit. It's going to help out that project. Cool. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Abby. And let's see, what else can I do to this? Let's see. I don't want to lift so much. 0.05. Yeah, like I'm not super happy about kind of like this irregularity in here that's coming from the what's the word I'm looking for? It's coming from the ray. So maybe I'll find a better way to do this, but I'm not super angry at where this is right now. I mean, for, you know, the first crack, right? I got the plates. I got them sitting on the arm correctly. They don't really have any thickness yet. I'll get to that. But yeah, I'm not super angry at this. Okay. So I might keep this and kind of move forward there. Yeah. Okay. So let's clean this up a little bit. Don't need that noise. And maybe I can. Some really small. Now the thing is with this, I think I want to so these are all kind of the same width this way. I'm gonna have to do the same thing I would do with the feathers. So I'm gonna change their width along. And at this point, it's this one is actually a little bit more forgiving because I don't have to deal with the UVs, right? I'm just dealing with geometry. All my UVs are gonna be on my super low res stuff. So this is just geometry. So I can get away with a little bit more. So let's put that to 0.75 and we'll work with that later. Yeah, I think I'll leave this as it is right now. Maybe I'll do like a little attribute blur just to kind of like knock down some of this high frequency detail. Blur. I feel like it's shrinking it a little bit too much. Yeah, no, I think I like this. Because I'm probably going to subdivide this anyway. And this thing is pretty, there's like a dent right there. So there's a dent there. I'm going to call that okay. I do kind of want this to go all the way to the back of the hand, though. So I might split this up again. I might just do one for the wrist, one set for the wrist, and then one set for the hand, and then one set for the back of the palm. And then I'll do one for each finger. Actually, I think that's a much better idea. Yeah, actually, I do like that idea better. Like, so basically having this guy, and then I'll have another set for the palm here. Actually, I could just do one big plate for the back of the hand. Actually, I think I might do that. I think I like that. Like, you have like, if you're like gonna like backhand somebody, you got like that nice hard plate there that doesn't move. And the back of your hand, you don't really need a lot of articulation there as well. So you need a bunch of articulation. Like if I go like this, I'm gonna need a gap right there so that I can do like this. If I have a plate that's going over my hand like this, I can't lift that. I remember like I did I'm gonna name drop. I hate name dropping, but I was doing a shot on one of the Avenger films, and Iron Man had these gauntlets that went like this, and he continually had to go like this. So he had to like do this little rig that like pulled that part of his gauntlet back so that he could like literally do like the Iron Man thing where he'd like do this, right? He was modeled so he had like this thing that went over the back of his hand, and so we had to make it slide backwards because we can't make it bend or else it would look like he was wearing like a rubber suit, which is basically he was. But so as he lifted his hand, this piece would slide back like that. So I don't want to have to do that because this is like skin. It's like part of her skin, so it shouldn't move around. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. I'm just gonna pull this back and just have that be part of the wrist that sticks out there. And then I might make these as a little bit wider as well. So it just covers more. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, it's a little weird, but I mean, actually, I'm thinking, yeah. It's just W. So let's get rid of that attribute noise. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. That's not too bad. You know, for like 15, 20 minutes of work, that's not awful. The other thing I could do is if I didn't want to use the that group, I could just draw my own curve on here and use that, which is wholly possible. So it's basically, instead of using this guy, I could just draw my own and plug that in. I might actually end up doing that. Maybe I'm being a little bit too pedantic on my what's the word I'm looking for? On my proceduralism, yeah. But I try to start as procedural as I can, and then I'll kind of work my way backwards. So some things need to be procedural, or it's better if some things are procedural, better if some things aren't. But I try to stay as procedural as I can. I wonder if I can get a little bit. There's not really much else I can do to this. I kind of like that. So I can really start to sculpt what this looks like. Overall. And okay, so I need to update my normals. That's it. So I can see my shading. Preview normals. There we go. So I'm getting a little bit of poke through here. I am going to give these thickness, so I need to, account for that as well. Maybe what I might also just like do a group and just smooth the edges and leave the inside as it is. But yeah, I'm getting like some nice armored plating. I'll now that I think about it, I probably will just draw in that curve. I'll probably do that next time. But my mechanism's working. I'm super happy with it. Well, not super happy with it. Like, I'm not done. But I'm getting some poke through here. That's going to be, that would be over here. Probably in this part, yeah. So if anything, I should probably go up and then come back down. Why can't I grab you? Yeah, that's pretty, I like that. And then it's still 100% procedural. So let's see. If I go up to this resample, I can take and I can add more plates. I can add less plates. Actually, I think I like the less plates here. Going back to 5 looks pretty good. Looks very armor plated. I mean, the coloring also really helps overall. So let's get rid of that coloring and see if see if it's still intriguing. Attribute delete. Delete. See. Yeah, it still looks pretty cool. It still looks pretty cool. Now, I wonder what happens if I subdivide this. Like I said, this is going to be my high res. So this is going to be super ultra high res. And I don't want to go, I don't think I want to come too far off the skin, because this is going to be a normal map, right? It's not going to be a displacement map. So I can't go too far bonkers breaking this silhouette. So this guy should probably come down a little bit. What else can I do to this? I got about 10 minutes left. So I kind of like that. It looks pretty good with the color on there. It really gives you a sense of like, it's almost like some fake like ambient occlusion type stuff. Let's see. Let's do extrude. Now, if I poly extrude this, it's probably not going to work very well with. Oh, yeah, it did. Ooh, yeah. Oh, that's really nice. Yeah. That works better than I could have ever imagined. Yeah, that's dope. I like this a whole lot. A whole lot. Like, this is working really well. So, oh, cool. All right, so let's, So I think I might be able to do these all together. I just need to control, so I'm basically going to have the same plate, which is basically going to be this guy, over and over and over again. I need to be able to control the length going forward, right? I need to be able to control the length of this guy. Like basically length this way, and then I also need to control the overall P scale of each one. So basically what I'll do is I'll build each spline with the proper attributes on it. I'll merge everything together, and then I'll copy this one piece onto all the other pieces. So if I just want to see this in context now. So I want to make sure that I save this, and I want to make sure that down here I haven't blown away that. So I've blown away that rest detail attribute, and I should get it back if I come to here. Yeah. So if I merge, because that makes sense, because that's just this. If I take and I merge plates and my actual arm. Great, so I should get that back. Let's just put a color on this. That's looking pretty good. That's looking pretty good. And then I will take and put this back in space. Yeah, so I think I do. I think what I'm gonna do is during the next stream, I think I'm gonna draw this. I kind of want it. She's like this, right? I want this. I think it's a little bit too far back. It's like coming from here and going like that. I want it to, even though it's twisted, right? I think I still want it mostly on the top, right here. So I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and just draw in exactly where I want those lines, and then that will all get transformed down, and that'll get put onto all that stuff. So I can see it. I can see the actual arm, like in context overall. And two, I can say, all right, this. So right now, like I went way too far up the arm up here, so I can see. I want it to go. Yeah, I want the plates to be on top, and I want them to go like this. Like that, basically. And that's the beauty of this procedural system, like thinking procedurally and thinking like design oriented instead of like I'm just gonna slap a plate here, 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 and here. I could, like, this is infinitely kind of malleable now. Like I could show this to my art director and he could say move that over there, and instead of having to move all these plates, right, I can just redraw that curve and they'll be there. And or he could say, for example, he could say, oh, lift these up more or make more of them, right? So I can say, okay, yeah, you want more of these? Cool. I'll just come up to my resample and I'll say, and all right, do you like that many? No, make less. So I was like, okay, make 3. Like, so just 3. Actually, that looks kind of cool, just the 3. So I need to figure out how many I want. But overall, I'm digging where this went. I like where this is going. It's a good start. It's always a little rocky when you first start off. So I might like the and I can probably even control this lift with yet another attribute that I can like paint on the surface. But yeah, so even though I'm like looking at this, I'm like, man, this looks really insectoid. But once again, I'm always going back to this guy, right? This looks very insectoid, right? It's very flat, very plated. Like it doesn't look like it would come from a real animal. Like I love, like birds are crazy, like little dinosaurs. They really are little dinosaurs. So there's lots of stuff you can do if you just kind of think ahead just a little bit. So I do like that lifting up. And where I put that? Where did I put that attribute up? I usually color this stuff as I'm going along. So there's my car. And actually, instead of going all the way up to there, I can do the same thing. So I can come all the way to there. Go all the way to the back of the hand. So I kind of like that. And this pokes just out of... Actually, I'm going to have it start just after that sleeve, so I don't have to worry about tucking the sleeve into it because I'm lazy. Oh yeah, there we go. It's not bad. It looks very what's the word I'm looking for? Like samurai, which is cool. I like samurai. So yeah, I think I'm gonna keep my original idea of stopping this like at the wrist and then having a big plate that sits there. And yeah, so I want to find, where did oh, it's over here. I'm gonna simplify this. And I wonder Oh, that's awesome. I can even go negative and push it down a little bit further. Now it makes my graph look bonkers crazy. Round that out a little bit. Now it's at this point it's just art direction, you know. I tend to not like to go negative on my graphs if I can, though. I think it's more trouble than it's worth. But this is actually kind of cool. Yeah. So now I'm just messing around, and it's 9 o'clock. So great, cool beans. Sorry about the little hiccup at the beginning. So yeah, next class, next stream, we're gonna we have our base kind of we've made it work. So the next stream, probably gonna redraw this curve, make that plate on the back of the hand, and then transfer all that over to the rest of the arm, and then we'll start working on the really fun part, which is these little kind of like pock marks and kind of like pseudo scales. So yeah, this one might go a little bit faster than the wings, just because it's more of a solid piece. It's not so many pieces, which is good. I like to go long pieces, short pieces, long pieces, short pieces. Cool, great, awesome. Thanks for coming to show. Thanks for showing up to the modeling stream this week. Hope you learned something. It was a little floundery at the beginning. It's always a little floundery at the beginning. That is CG, right? If you're not doing something new, like you're doing something that somebody's already done before, and you're just kind of regurgitating what's already there, unless you're learning. So, you know, just keep making stuff. I'm Bryan Bentley for CG Spectrum. This is the Wednesday night modeling stream. Go for all your modeling needs. Go to cgspectrum.com/3D-modeling. Wash your hands. Be kind to others. Be kind to yourself. Get enough rest. And keep learning. And I will see you on the flip side. Or next week. Whichever one comes first.